Coming up on The Weekend View.
The shockwaves over Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban splitting after 19 years of marriage.
Yeah?
Yes, and reports about which one didn't want it to end, so someone's feelings got hurt, and why fans are taking the breakup personally.
And Madonna reveals what made her drop all of her long-term grudges. Come on, are we believing she dropped all of them?
I'm not.
I know I'm not letting some people off the hook.
Exactly. Plus, music superstar Jelly Roll has fans in a frenzy over his incredible 200-pound weight loss. He lost 200 pounds.
A lot.
But his wife is telling them to calm down. It all starts now on The Weekend View.
Okay, here we go. This week, people were shocked that one of the world's most beloved celebrity couples, Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban, are calling it quits. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
See, look at that. They're so upset.
I know.
19 years they were married.
That's a good
It's a long run. Here's what entertainment podcast The Spill said about how Nicole and Keith are handling this very public breakup. Watch.
It's kind of really clear that Keith's camp and Nicole's camp are putting out the stories that they want the public to be aware of. Yeah. And the story that's coming from Keith's camp is very much like he sort of instigated it, but not in a way that's painting him as a villain. Yeah. And that it's been open to their friends for so long, he's trying to make it look like it's not a big dramatic reveal. Yeah. Whereas what we're hearing from the Nicole Kidman camp is that she is very heartbroken and devastated about this, and that she has been fighting to make the marriage work. So it sounds that she wasn't on board with the separation.
Okay, so it sounds like Keith wanted out and she did not.
Maybe they just grew apart. I mean, they are huge stars. He's a country singer. He's on the road a lot. She's, doing film. I mean, they've been married almost 20 years. They have 2 kids together.
I think that people can grow
They
apart.
grew apart.
Well, marriage is hard enough when
Can
you
I
live...
finish a sentence?
Oh, there's still more. I'm so excited.
They grew apart,
I don't
Joy.
even remember what I was going to say.
You were going to say you understand people
I do
grow
understand
apart.
that people grow apart. I had that in my own marriage. I get
The
that.
first one that didn't
I'm not
end
talking
well.
about, that may be the reason people want out.
Yeah.
But there needs a catalyst to actually pull the trigger and get out of
I
their
don't know.
marriage.
I'm going to tell you this.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay, marriage, I think, is like a very heavy carriage, and it needs 2 horses to pull it. Damn, that was profound.
That was good.
Quite profound.
So like when, and I think because we are living so much longer, because we're having sex so much longer with Viagra, right? Men are having sex until their 80s and 90s.
And
I
having
think people
babies.
want to be happy at a different level even later in life. So,
Yeah, but they're young, these two. They're not
no,
old.
but I mean, they're almost 60.
Yeah, they're 58.
Which sounds really young to me.
But when
Sounds younger to me by the
They're
day.
both
But when you
58.
think like regular marriage under one roof, it can be a slow degradation that you don't notice, and then you wake up one day and you're like, when did we stop actively loving each other? When did we stop efforting this? And they have careers where they're not together a lot. So imagine the challenge when you're not even in a house where you could opt for that, but you're
I
traveling.
think it's probably true love, and then what ended up happening.
Everything is true love.
Do you want to talk
Yes.
about Ben and J-Lo again?
Well, there was true love too. I think
For a
it was
little
true
bit.
love, and then they just grew apart.
Yeah.
That's what
That's too
happened.
simple.
But to be honest, 19 years
too
by
simple.
Hollywood standards
This
is
is
a very
successful
long
marriage.
time. Like, I would
Yeah.
consider that a success.
16 years, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was
19.
19. That was
19.
I
16
have
was
to ask
mine.
though, for those who've been, I've only been married coming up on 5 years, actually 4 years.
Wow.
Once you hit 19, isn't there part of you that just wants to power through? Like, it just feels like, I know there's ebbs and flows in marriage.
I would say Anna's hitting it.
Everyone's laughing, apparently not.
Anna's hitting it on the head when she said with people living so much longer, there's a lot of times where when your kids grow up or they leave, you have this reckoning, like, what have I done? What's left of me? Where are we going? You have so much life in front of you.
Well,
so.
I've been married 27 years, and
Yes, Sonny.
27 years, and for us at least, and we're newly empty nesters, we're rediscovering ourselves. I mean, it's great. We're traveling together. We're laughing. He's making me cocktails. It's just, it's like unbelievable.
Boston sexual revolution.
It's a revolution in my house. And then, like, after 19 years, to your question, Alyssa, it just got easier and easier, actually.
That's what I
You know,
wonder.
but I married my best friend.
Yeah.
And so that.
Yeah, not every marriage is the same.
That's easier.
Yeah.
But not, some people, grow apart. Look, Al was married for like 30 years.
Yeah.
And he thought they were both very cognizant that they were very unhappy in this marriage, and they weren't. When he went to say, let's get a divorce, he thought it would be great that everybody would say, we're unhappy, let's go live our own lives, and that's not how it was. So I think you have to ask yourself, why do I want to stay married? Is it for the kids? Is it for financial reasons? Is it because it's my identity to be Mrs. this or Mr. that?
Yeah.
Is it for appearances? What is the reason I want to get married?
All of those things.
And you both have to kind of agree on why you want to get married.
It has
why
to
you
be
want to
for
stay
the
married.
love and the friendship.
Yeah.
But people
I
don't
agree.
have those conversations before they get married. They're just hot for each other and then they get married.
They should have them, though.
Yeah, but if you've been married for 19 years, you're having that conversation
Steve
at
and
some
I are
point.
together 48 years.
That's right.
Or
Oh,
43.
right.
Whoa.
Wait a minute.
We both botched ours.
Well, I met him in 1982. We got married in 2011.
Yeah.
I can't do math.
I'm glad you waited so long
I
to
don't
make
know.
sure he was the one.
You've been married 14 years.
Yeah, I did. But I mean, I don't find that it's a heavy lifting. I need 2 horses, etc. I don't find that at all.
You find it easy.
Wait, you were
very
totally
easy.
off on your
It's
number.
easy.
by the way.
I don't know.
For you,
That's the worst math I've ever
There's no
heard.
math requirement for this job.
for you,
Thank God there's
it's
not,
gotten
yeah.
easier and easier for you, right?
Well, with him, it's easy.
You're best friends, though.
Can
too.
you do the math? Tell him the numbers again and tell us how long she's
82,
been
got
married.
married in 2011.
You've been together for 42 years.
43.
you wanted that off. Okay.
43.
42.
42.
Control room says 42.
Oh, okay.
My God, your relationship is your relationship with Steve is in perimenopause.
So there was a TikTok trend called Sit at the Bar September, which aimed at getting people off their device and out of the house. It encouraged people to order a drink and chat people up at the bar so they can have interactions with real people instead of online. So the question I have for you gals is, did you ever go to a bar yourself?
You know that.
By
answer.
yourself.
Well, I know.
I go to bars by myself. I'm a bar fly.
I thought you were
enjoy
constantly
that.
with your husband. You just told us in the last session.
I said recently. No, but I even if Manny and I are gonna meet for dinner, I usually get there first, and I just like to sit at the bar and talk to the bar. Their bartenders are like very interesting.
They have the best stories.
They have the best stories. There are crazy people sitting at the bar. It's a great people watching thing, and I order.
But don't go to the bar with Sonny because the men come on to her.
They do.
Unless you need a wing woman.
Yeah,
Wing woman.
So they come on to her, and then when I show up, they leave.
Yeah. Yeah. We've had that experience a couple times.
Yes.
I love a bar by myself. In my previous
fun.
career, I used to travel abroad a lot, and a lot of my colleagues were older men. I liked them, but I didn't want to get a drink with them necessarily afterward. And I'd go eat dinner at the bar.
Foreign bars are the
Yes, and
best.
I made friends with a bartender in Brussels that to this day I need to go back and visit her. This older woman, the best stories. It's a good way to like get a little bit of a social itch scratch, but not have to like commit to plans.
But is it a good place to meet a man?
I think it's a good
Are we
place
going to meet a man? Because I think we're all married.
Well, we're talking about others too,
Just
not
a
just
side
us.
hobby.
I think it's
Okay.
really
Yeah.
I think it's a great place to meet people and kind of get out of our bubbles. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I travel a lot. Obviously, I travel here every week. And I'm the only person I know who hates room service. I don't like room service.
I love room service.
I don't like the smell of food in the room. I don't like the
I'm with you.
ceremony.
What do you
I
like
it's
eating it in the
I don't-
bed?
I don't like the whole thing. I don't like
it
so
either.
so but I used to think going to a bar by yourself or a restaurant by
Yeah.
yourself was kind of lame. Like what kind
Oh.
of reject is sitting there? And then I started doing it and I really enjoy it. First of all,
it's fun.
you get better service if you are by yourself because they will top off your drink.
Yep.
They will let you try things. They will converse with you. You will get great, interesting
Maybe
stories.
they think you're a hooker.
What kind of wait.
You're sitting at, wait a second, you're sitting at a bar.
53-year-old chubby.
You're not that chubby.
Maybe they get a deal.
We'll be right back.
The Weekend View is sponsored by Rock Skincare, clinically proven and dermatologist recommended.
So fans of singer and rapper Jelly Roll are going wild after he dropped an incredible 200 pounds. Wow. But his wife, Bunny XO, has a big problem with how those fans are reacting to her husband's weight loss. Take a look.
Girl, your man is so hot now that he lost all that weight. Is he? Because he's always had the same face. He's always had the same heart. He's always had the same soul. I think the most appropriate thing here to say is that he looks so much more healthier now that he's lost weight. We gotta stop living in a shallow Hal world, guys. Because you know what? You might miss out on the best love of your life by judging somebody by their weight.
Do you think that's a double standard about commenting on a man's weight?
I think it's not a double standard. I think there is literally a phobia in this, maybe globally, but for sure in America, of weight. Weight is it's one of the last standing taboos. Like you can comment on it, you shouldn't,
Yeah,
but
I think
people
fat
do.
shaming is now
I don't think
a
it's
no-no.
unique. Yeah, but I don't even think it's a
still
double
do it.
standard. Men, women, whoever, anyone that is larger absolutely feels it day in and day out. You know.
I also think it's such a wrong belief that men's feelings aren't hurt when they get mean comments and when their bodies commented on. I see it like with celebrities. It's like, oh, shocker, Zac Efron upset that people are insulting your looks. By the way, he's gorgeous. But like, of course, men feel the same way. They don't want to read mean comments any more than women do.
Yeah, but women have spent their whole lives.
Well, we've had to deal with it more.
Looking at
That's
magazines of skinny bitches, come on, you know, with perfect bodies and the made-up boobs and everything else. The standard for women is much higher.
But you know,
so that when you say a woman is fat, that is a much worse insult than it is to say a guy.
You got to
is
look at
fat.
the individual though, because the man receiving that comment, it hurts him just the same. So I think it's more looking at not the greater aggregate, but the micro. It's the people, each one. That's a hard thing to accept.
Someone who's been on our show before and is a friend of yours and mine, Fat Joe.
Oh yeah,
that's the one you
Joey
kept saying. Why do
Cartagena.
they call you Fat Joe?
So but look at how he was and look at how he is
he's
now.
changed.
And I've heard him say, and I've heard him talk about it, how he's been with his wife now, Lorena, for like 30 years.
Long time.
And she was with him when he was looked like that, and she in love with him the entire time. And he says, and that's why she gets whatever the hell she wants.
Yeah.
Because she has literally been with me through thick and thin.
And the most unfair thing about like the whole convo around weight is we don't acknowledge that 90% of it is genetic. So people are battling it and things that they can't help about themselves, and they're trying, and you don't know what the daily struggle is.
And I'm glad Oprah finally spoke up about it and said, you know, this is a genetic thing. This is not, because I think people that are overweight typically think, you know, if I just ate a little bit less, or people that, not people that are overweight, people looking at people that are overweight seem to think, you know, you just eat too much, stop
It's
eating.
also getting older. And as you enter menopause, you get heavier.
You get heavier. And by the way, Jelly Roll is an incredible artist.
But let's also remember healthy food costs
that.
more, and whenever there's subsidized food, so people struggle check to check, they are literally being fed crap.
Yes. Yeah.
That, not all of it, but a lot of it.
A lot of it.
And my mom always struggled with her weight, and my father was always really thin. Like he was like a waist size 30 until well into his 50s or 60s. And then when he turned 60s, 70s, he started gaining weight. And I remember my mom saying to him one night, I am so glad I lived long enough to see you fat.
Okay, here's another story. Pop culture superstar Madonna had a long-standing feud with her brother, Christopher Ciccone, after he wrote a tell-all book called Life with My Sister Madonna in 2008. Oh. Imagine your brother writes a book about you.
Imagine that.
But she was just telling Jay Shetty's On Purpose podcast that they reconciled before he passed away last year, and why she doesn't hold on to grudges anymore. Take a look.
There are things that have happened to me in my life that I just thought, I will never forgive this person. I will never. Now, I don't want to have those feelings anymore, because they're really, it's a prison and it's poison to not be able to forgive and to live in a state of like holding a grudge or hating someone or wanting them to suffer. It's like a kind of poison. It's like a kind of cancer. That's why it's important to find a way to forgive even people that you perceive as your biggest enemies.
So the trick is really to get old enough so that you forget what was done to you.
Right.
Then you don't have a grudge.
Well, it's kind of that saying, grudges and anger. It's like taking poison and hoping the other person dies.
Yeah.
And
That's a good one.
Yeah, I didn't come up with it.
It's a good one. Anyway.
So nobody here holds grudges?
Oh, please.
No, I don't. I don't.
My husband holds them for me, but
Yeah.
you know.
My back hurts from my purse. I can't do that much.
I'm a work in progress on the grudge front.
Sonny, we do know this.
But
Anna has to remind me of my grudges.
I know, she reminds you. She's
Remember
like,
when so-and-so said on
She
the
does.
show, on this show, what so-and-so said to
She
you?
gets you fired
and
up.
I'm like, who? I don't remember.
so you don't hold grudges,
And
but
I tell you, I forget.
Anna and I can do it for you.
Yeah, but
Anna, do you hold grudges?
there's a grudge and there's a grudge. Like, look, if it's an unimportant person in your life, who cares? Just don't
That's
give them
right.
oxygen, don't give them space. But, right now I am going through difficulties with my dad, and I don't consider it a grudge. I think it's hurt that I have to process. He's 85 years old. I know that the clock is ticking.
Yeah.
And I know that if something happens to him, I'm gonna be like in a shrink for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
But it's hard to process very deep hurt. Like in Madonna's case, her brother writing that book, that's such a huge breach of trust.
That's a betrayal.
A betrayal. And so it's not a grudge. Grudge are stupid things, and if it's people that are not part of your lives,
Yeah, you just
But
don't
the
give them
fact that
space.
you're aware of the timeline, you're doing the work you're supposed to. It's feeling like, oh my gosh, I've got to work through this. Some people do hold grudges where they are right and they are not addressing it and they are done and they walk away.
But how are you working through it? What are you doing?
Feeling everything that comes up, probably.
What am I doing?
You guys have had a lot of therapy, man.
I know.
You really.
I could work with you in
you're-
psychodrama with this.
You're
if you
really
want.
I thought you said you didn't accept any more members into your psychodrama
Sometimes
group.
they drop out and you can put in.
So when
She told us
so
that
when
she
somebody
wouldn't let
dies,
us
I can
in.
come in
No,
and
sometimes they don't. Sometimes they don't come. You know.
I mean, I can go play the role of a chubby hooker.
Do you want help or don't you?
Huh?
Do you want
I'm
help?
asking you the question.
We're here for you.
No, listen.
what is it
my father has been too important in my life, and,
Yeah, he's
and that's
your
part of the
father.
problem. That I
Yeah.
have him in such a pedestal
Yeah.
that when he didn't live up to my expectations of him, it was like this huge thing came crashing down.
All I want to say about that is one thing. After you get to be a certain age and through therapy, like Sarah has been through, and me.
I do therapy as well.
You do. You realize that your parents are just people, that they have flaws.
But it takes time to
They are
realize
not
I've dealt with
flawed.
that too.
They are amazing, and they're on pedestal.
No,
This
no.
one needs a little
I mean, it's funny. As old as I am getting, I am reassessing my parents continuously.
Really?
Yes.
They're dead. You no longer have the choice of being mad at
But
them.
they existed, didn't
Yes.
they? And
Yes.
they existed in my life and in my mind and in my
Yes.
memory.
Yes.
All right, here's another one. A letter to advice column, Miss Manners asked how to handle a friend who they claim is warm, generous, and kind, but also greets them with a big kiss right on the lips. Miss Manners suggested saying that you're not feeling well and doesn't want her to catch anything. And I actually have a long line of famous women I've kissed on the show over the years, as you can
have.
see. You can see that. Sarah, just last
no,
week.
that was Candace.
And she's great, though. I'm very...
She enjoyed it. Sarah liked it.
Yeah, Sarah, just last week that happened with Sarah. Okay. So what about this? Kissing somebody on the lips. I know all of the girls I kiss.
Yeah.
You know, I guess I can say this. You know, Manny just told me that one of our friends, every time she sees him, kisses him on the lips.
Really?
Oh, that's different.
Isn't that crazy?
Oh, no.
It is the wildest thing. And he says
And she's still with us?
I was like so surprised by it. And he said he thinks it's because, he was born in Spain and his family is in Spain. But in Spain, they kiss on the cheek.
I was going to say,
That's appropriate.
And they don't kiss on the mouth.
Like the French,
and he
yeah.
actually wanted me to say something, but I don't want
oh my God, he said, will you say
he was
something?
like, can you
That's the
say
last
something? But I don't want to say something. I just feel like it's so
But wait a
odd.
minute. Does this happen in front of you?
Apparently it has, and I didn't notice.
Well, you should.
I didn't notice. I just didn't.
So she comes into the room, you're there.
Yes.
And she greets Manny with a kiss in the lips, and you don't notice?
I know.
Who are you?
I know. I didn't notice.
But you know, Sonny, you know what?
It's strange.
You better pay some attention
I
now.
gotta pay more attention now because it's making him uncomfortable.
Not for nothing, but it's easy to go like this when someone's coming at you. You just turn your head.
He's done that. I said that to him. I said, why don't you just
Probably
move
waits
your
for him to
face?
come back.
Right. She does.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's like, he kind of goes like this, and she's
going
him.
in.
Oh,
She
yeah.
needs some aim.
Isn't that interesting?
You
We
gotta
gotta
keep
find
an
this
eye on
girl.
this.
I think it's really interesting.
I
I'm
don't
like,
understand why, if they're such good friends, she doesn't just say, "Look, you know what?
I don't like that.
I come from a culture
it's
where
up
we don't
to him.
kiss in the
It's up
lips."
to him.
I think
no,
he
not
has
Manny.
to say it.
No, Manny's got.
He has to go, I'm married.
Yeah, yeah.
Believe me,
Have you met my wife?
I know.
For your own safety.
The Weekend View is sponsored by Rock Skincare, clinically proven and dermatologist recommended.
The lovely Sarah was on the Behind the Table podcast with Brian this week. So take a look at that.
There was an article in the New York Times about fighting with your spouse.
Yes.
And experts say there are clear steps you can take to move forward. They say that you should take a break, apologize for your part, have a closing conversation, and finish with a palate cleanser. This sounds like a
Are
meal.
we eating?
Yeah,
Is
we're
there-
eating somewhere.
Is there a toast?
What do you and Max do when you're in a fight?
Okay, so I actually stole this from Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx. She once posted something that just hit me right in the heart. She said whenever she's fighting with her husband, and they've been married for, I think, multiple decades, they have 4 kids or something, she said, we slow dance. And the rule is, if your partner asks you to slow dance, you can't say no. And funny enough, we put it in, and it is so hard because it is not a romantic dance ask. Like when it happens, it's like, can we slow dance? Like you're just annoyed. But the second you get close, I'm not joking, it has worked 100% of the time.
Fascinating.
So now we also implement it with the kids. I once saw a mom that put a t-shirt over the kids when they were fighting to sit in the same t-shirt. I do the 30-second hug. 5 seconds in, they are rolling on the floor laughing. Because something about being that close to the person, touching them, it almost takes away all the heat and anger in a way that sets the stage for more productive conversations.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
We just ignore each other for several days and
No,
hope
I
that
know,
it'll
because
eventually
I've
fade
gotten
away.
phone calls about that.
Yes.
That is really, really terrific advice because I do what Brian does. I just don't speak for several days.
No,
sometimes
the silent
weeks.
treatment is the kiss of death.
Yeah, that's a bad thing.
I had planned to make fun of you for this, and I actually think you explained it very well. Because what it is you're being vulnerable by saying, let's slow dance. You're taking the first step toward reconciliation, and it is true. Once you hug your spouse, it's so much harder to be angry with them.
And it's hard to ask because
intimacy.
if someone doesn't do it, one of you has to be strong enough to say, okay, let's just do
I was
this.
going to say
Let's
Max
dance.
is squirming away from you, and
Yeah,
you're
but
like, no.
the human touch is powerful. If you took
Yeah.
every person that is mad, angry, or fighting in the world and made them hold each other, I promise you,
That's
they would
really
not feel the
that's
same
so
way.
hard to do.
It is hard to do, but the rule is you cannot say no. So
I mean to get the whole world to do it.
Well,
I'm gonna
given up
try
on
that
that.
because I recently started using, as you know, ChatGPT to end my arguments because we tend to argue
that's right.
via text, and I always fire off a real juicy one. I'm like, and it's gone, and it's in. You know, I tried to take it back, and he usually sees it.
But what about in person? What do you do when you're in person? and
I
you're
just don't
fighting?
speak for a long time.
Oh, I can't do
Anna,
that.
what do you do?
I don't speak, and then we have makeup sex, which is at this point in my life, the only reason to have a fight is to have really great sex after. I love, I'm not fighting with Al anymore, and I love makeup sex. In fact, I'm gonna go fight with him.
But anyway, you can catch Behind the Table wherever you get your podcasts or watch us on YouTube. Have a great day, everyone, and take a little time to enjoy
The Weekend View.